What is good, guys? M.V.K here, back again. Welcome back, as always, to Indie Showcase. Indie Showcase, guys. The segment where I, your host, M.V.K, reviews books from independent companies, from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows, and everything around, as always. And today, guys, I am here to review a book from Vault Comics, and I've read a few books from Vault Comics, but this book interests me because it has a very sword and sorcery feel to it. I'm a big sword and sorcery fan, and it's called GodFell. Yeah, first of all, the cover is nice. That's the main character. Her name is Zanzi. And she's no joke. I want to make sure I give a shout out to the writing crew, the creative team on this. So we want to say to the writer, Christopher Cibella, and artwork by Ben Hennessy, colorist Tiana Farrell, and the letterer is done by Jim Campbell. This is under Vault Comics, and like I said, that cover is badass. Okay, so what is this about? What is GodFell about? What is this about? Well, it takes place in it is basically sword and sorcery. Let's get that out the way. It takes place in a world in a land called what is that? Let me make sure I won't. It's Kirithium, Kirithium. I think that's the name of it. And one day in this land, pretty much, God fell to earth and fell from the sky dead. Now, it's played up if it's really God or more like some kind of deity. And ever since that day that this God fell, the shockwave and the fact that God has been killed or died, there was a battle. There was between all the different royal families of this land, and and it's a very, very, very long, year-long war. It's like a long war that's going on. But in between that, we are introduced to this character. Her name is Zanzi, kind of like named after the river, Zanzi River. And she's powerful. It's like take the way I look at it, and just in general, you take a little take Conan, you take Red Sonja, you take Gatsu from Berserk, and throw a dash of who else I could throw in there as a character? Big Barda. There you go, Big Barda in there, and that's who you get in this woman. She is huge. Don't let her fool you right here. When she is in the presence of the other soldiers, or she dwarfs them, like not just in size and height, but also in body mass. You can just see how muscular she is, and she's all business. Don't say a lot of words. She backs everything up. The way she communicates is on the battlefield. She is someone not to screw with, and the people and the soldiers that fight with her know that. The people that fight against her fear her, but she does talk. I'm not saying that she's a mute, but she does talk. However, this war is taking a lot out of her, and she wants to go home. She wants to She wants to go back to her love and her child and things like that. And eventually she just says, screw it, I'm leaving, I'm heading home. And that's when everything starts to get interesting. While she's heading back to where she wants, she meets a stranger, a young woman by the name of Neth, who wants to travel with her. And she's like, I don't care. She thinks she's a beggar, so she gives her money. And she's like, here, but she's like, no, I want to travel with you. And it's just very interesting. Now, in terms of the god, I will show you the god, because it's very interesting indeed. The god that basically the body. So this is the god that fell. Does that look like God to you? And even in the story, Zanzi, she even questions. She even says, I don't think it's a god. I don't think it's God that fell. It's something else. And I mean, the body's still there that people can, explore it and even look at it. Even though there are guards from one of the royal families that guard it, you're not gonna get near it. But like I said, Zanzi is one of those soldiers and just a powerful warrior that she is. She takes down it, and yes, this is her weapon of choice, that big battle axe, where you can see right there. I would show some of it. This is not for kids. There's a lot of gore in this. I mean, she cuts off heads, she cuts body parts, she goes ham on people big time. That's why I said it's like Conan, Red Sonja, Gatsu from Berserk, and like I said, and a dash of Big Barda, because just how big she is, she's no joke. The storytelling matched very well of what this series seems to be going on about, and you get a good understanding of, somewhat by reputation, who Zanzi is, instead of just because you're mostly as the reader, you're hearing it more of who she is from her comrade's point of view, instead of, but what we're seeing is that she is just somebody you don't want to trifle with, so be careful. But outside of that, this was good. Very good issue, very solid issue. I do recommend it if you're into sword and sorcery, things like that. It's very interesting. Now I'm more interested, intriguing more of what this god is that fell to earth, fell to the earth, as they say, and what do all the different forces, even the darker forces, want with it? Because all Zanzi wants to do is get back home. And why? And who is Neth? Is she somebody special? But outside of that, good stuff. This was fun. Like I said, the artwork by Mr. Hennessy was good. It's pretty good. But it definitely has that real feel of it looks like here you go. Look at her. That's Zanzi right there. And she looks just like somebody you don't want to try to. I mean, she's got scars on her face, but people are offering her ale, and she's just like, I don't want all that. Just give me one. People just, her soldiers just, her comrades just give her stuff, because it's like nobody's gonna say no to her. If she says I want that, they're like, here, give it to her. She's got respect for who she is. She's a warrior. She's a soldier. She's a berserker, as they like to call her too. But she's somebody not to trifle with. But in the meantime, it does make me wonder who this god is, and what does this mean for Zanzi's pilgrimage in general. But solid issue indeed. I very much enjoyed this. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that review. Like I said before, GodFell issue 1 came out, I believe, 2 weeks ago. Issue number 2, I believe, comes out next Wednesday. But I enjoyed this. Look forward to seeing me continue to review this on Indie Showcase. And as you guys know, I maybe didn't tell you guys, Indie Showcase for will continue up until I believe June. Indie Showcase, once June hits, moving Indie Showcase to its own channel, and you could just read, see me review all indie books on that. But in the meantime, yeah, this was good, very much indeed. So if you enjoyed Indie Showcase, continue. When I will give you the link and everything where I'm moving it. But in the meantime, this was good, very good indeed. Do I like Zanzi? Yeah, she's cool. She, like I said, she is a mixture of all the characters that I love. I love Conan. I love Red Sonja. I love Guts, and I do love Big Barda. So yeah, it was great. I hope we get more of a backstory into her, into Zanzi as more. Like, but outside of that, yeah, looking forward to continue to read that. So guys, that is it. You guys tell me in the comment section if you read GodFell. I keep saying, what I said, Godfall, GodFell. If you read it, tell me what you thought about it. And if you didn't, I do recommend it. Give it a shot. If you're into sword and sorcery, you may like it. You don't have to take my word for it. Y'all should know where that come from. But outside of that, you guys take care. Deuces.